Hello everybody, this is Radis and I am back again with some more StarCraft 2 action. This is going to be a continuation on the last video, the game between TSL Polt and Stephano. So yes, that's right everybody, this is going to be Polt as the blue Terran in the bottom left hand corner and Stephano in the top right. And Stephano being absolutely mana, typing out the GLHF, my friend. So it looks like he's having a really good time in this competition. It's always good to have fun when you're playing video games, especially StarCraft 2, because StarCraft 2 is oh so fun. Anyway guys, I just wanted to, while this game is getting underway, I just wanted to have a quick little heart-to-heart with you guys, because I came across some absolutely awesome news today, something that I'm actually a little bit excited about. There's going to be a mod coming out for StarCraft 2 using the StarCraft 2 map creator that is going to turn StarCraft 2 into Warcraft 3. That is right. I'll actually post a link in the description below. I'll see if I can put a little annotation to it or something, because it does actually look pretty awesome. It's only in pre-alpha at the moment, so there's a hell of a lot of balance changes that do need to be made. There's still some Zerg and Protoss structures in there as well, in the video that I saw anyway. And there was even a case where there was a building that looked like it was the main building for the little sim city that one of the players had going on there, and when it got destroyed it turned into a command center and had the command center destruction kind of little look to it. So that was kind of interesting. This looks like this drone is actually being a little bit of a pest to Polt, at least for a little while, until this Marine gets out, which isn't going to be too far away. It looks like Stephano taking the early expand before pool again, pretty standard. Anyway, back to what I was saying about that video about Warcraft 3 coming to StarCraft 2. It does look pretty wicked. I can't wait to try it out. It looks pretty cool. There's definitely a lot of work to go with that mod, so definitely go and check it out. Have a look. It'll definitely be worth your while. So yeah. Anyway, yep, go check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Is Polt going to go? He's going to do it again. Oh, Polt, you cheesing little player. I feel so sorry for you. Looks like another 3 drones being taken off the line to try and take care of this. That's definitely going to be enough, although there is a Marine on the field. The Marine kind of getting scared by 2 drones. That's not normal. But oh well, you're a Marine. You don't really want to get hit in the face by a drone claw, because let's face it, that would be totally messy. And it looks like Polt definitely going to try and get this finished off. Although there are 2 lings out on the field, but there are 2 Marines here for Polt. If you can just excuse me guys, Hey guys, sorry about that little break there. I've got the air conditioner on in my house, and I think my nose is allergic to it, so I just had to sort that out. My apologies, but back to the StarCraft action. So what do we got going on over here for Polt? It looks like he may be going for double Hellion harass again. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing here. Although this time changing it up a little bit from his previous build, going for a tech lab now on this barracks. So that means that some Marauders are going to be coming out onto the field, or at least researching Stimpack. Another command center being built in the main base for Polt. Those Hellions now out on the field, going to be going and harassing the mineral line of Stephano, although Stephano has got a Roach Warren on the way, with 2 Queens already out, and a whole bunch of Lings coming out as well. So it looks like that the harass here from Polt will get denied. Those Hellions now being spotted by Stephano. Looks like he is going to try and bring some of these Lings home. Not soon enough to get those Roaches out though, which is going to be a bit of a shame. Though he has got the Queen out over here to try and deny any harass. This is a a good place for Stephano to be in until that Roach Warren finishes, which it just has. Are we going to see roaches coming in? Yes, 7 roaches coming out on the field now. This is good news for Stephano, going to be able to hold this off pretty easily. Zergling's speed just being finished as well. That is absolutely fantastic news for him. This push by Polt is not going to last very long. That Queen seemingly taking no damage, although those Lings are getting cleaned out. This Queen here is probably going to be enough to hold that off. Roach is out on the field now, definitely going to push this early rush back. So that's a great spot for Stephano rather than Bean. But Polt has also gotten off some good scouting information. So that's scouting information is always good. Always good, guys. You can never pass up scouting information in StarCraft 2. It tells you exactly how your opponent is doing. And it looks like Polt, if you remember last video, I asked you guys what you would rather do. Would you rather make an orbital command inside your main base or outside before you're floated on over to your expansion? So it looks like Polt actually doing the inside the base and then floating it over. So that's always interesting to find out these little tidbits of these pro players. And they can always help you with your game watching these videos. Absolutely fantastic. I know I've learnt a lot. My game has got so much better from when I started playing StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2, so that you guys know, you probably, I don't know if you want to know a little bit of info about me or not. But StarCraft 2 is actually the game that's gotten me into gaming. So yeah, I didn't even know what Steam was until I started playing StarCraft 2. That was right when StarCraft 2 came out. So what's that, 2-3 years ago now? These hellions have been cleaned up quite easily by those Zerglings. That's always a good thing. These roaches have busted their way through though. Totally missed that because I was too busy talking about myself. There you go. Like I was saying, anyway, yes, StarCraft 2 is actually the game that has gotten me into gaming. And so you can imagine that when I started out playing StarCraft, I was an absolute noob, and let's face it, I still am. But I'm not so much a noob to that extent anymore. I do know what I'm doing. I've actually found my way into Gold League. Surprise, surprise! On ladder on StarCraft 2. So that's actually a pretty big achievement for me. I'm extremely happy with that. So yeah, if you guys are ever on the Asian server for StarCraft 2, hit me up. I do go by the name of wow. I've got 2 accounts. The main account that I play with StarCraft 2 is Melloh, so always hit me up. M-E-L-L-O-H. That's how you spell it. Gee, I can't even spell my own name. What do you know? Anyway, it does look like Stephano trying to see if there's a third base out here for Polt. Although it doesn't look like Polt's style is to get that third base really early like it is for some players. Let's note we do have a command center going down. That's probably going to be in the main base. There it is there. Double medevacs being produced at a time. We do have combat shields on the way for Polt as well, and 5 marines being produced at a time as well. So that's always a good place to be in for Terrans. I'm surprised to see that Polt. Oh, okay, no, he's using that to get another add-on. Normally, actually, if you guys check out one of my earlier videos, there's actually a really sweet play that was done by a Terran on, and you know what, I can't remember the name of the map. It's the map where you've got the main base here, you've got the natural expansion here, and then there's some rocks, and then there's your third kind of over on the side. It looks like Stephano, however, his spidey senses were tingling, sending these Lings out over here, and getting a good surround on these Marines. The medevac's going to have to load these Marines up to get them out of there, and there they go, getting those Marines out of there. Those Lings are going to try and give chase, but that doesn't really work for Lings. They can't quite hit those air units. And yeah, like I was saying, there was a pretty sweet play by a Terran player that I saw. I actually casted the game and put it up on my channel, so go and check it out. The Terran player wasn't using the factory, so what he did was he lifted it up, and the Zerg player destroyed those destructible rocks between the natural and the third, and looks like Stephano trying to have a sneak peek at what's in Polt's base, although that wasn't quite happening. So yes, anyway, the factory was floated all the way over the field to actually deny the Zerglings from running in between the natural and the third, and that gave the Terran player a huge advantage and actually meant that he was able to win. I believe he won that game because he was able to surround the Zerg's units in between the factory and where his units were. So that was a fantastic play. You should go and check that out. It was a game-winning play, and if you are Terran, I would really, really love to go against that play when I play Zerg. I just want to see what I could do to go and get rid of that, really. Anyway, it looks like Polt is now going to take the third after he's morphed in his third command center as an orbital, although at the same time Stephano is going to have his fourth base finishing up. So Stephano doing what Zerg always does best, and that is keep one expansion ahead. And looks like Stephano feeling, I don't know if he's feeling pressured or what, throwing down this little bit of a wall right here. Maybe it's just so that he can thwart this Zergling attack. Although we do have Hive Tech on the way for Stephano, so it looks like he might be taking this up quite soon. He does have the pathogen glands researching at the moment as well, though, so that means that we definitely are going to see some more infestors on the field. So it looks like this is going to be a pretty similar game to last game, which is not always good for YouTube, but hey, it's good entertainment value for all of us that love the StarCraft 2 action, especially seeing as how it is on a totally different map. Lots and lots of upgrades again coming out of Polt. He's insane with all of these upgrades. It's absolutely phenomenal to see people going for all of those upgrades. And yes, here we go. We now have infestors coming out on the field for Stephano. What did I tell you? There was definitely going to be some infestors on the field. So let's have a quick look at the army tab here. Looks like there's actually a lot more going on here for Polt. It doesn't look like it because Stephano doesn't have that much in gas with his units. He does now because of the infestors. Let's have a quick look at the army supply. About even. Worker supply is definitely favouring Zerg, but then again, that's what you expect because Terran does have those mules they can rely on quite heavily to supplement their income. There's definitely lots and lots of wings out on the field here. So this is, I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. I don't normally like going mass wing myself. That's a lot of wings. Wow. Just because they can get taken out quite easily, although he does have Stephano does have the adrenal glands being researched right about now. Looks like Stephano kind of getting a bit anxious, thinking that maybe there might be mutas coming his way. Of course there's not, although we do have an Ultralisk cabin on the way. That's not going to be good for Polt. Definitely good news for Stephano though, not even getting a kill there on that Marine Marauder ball, as the medevac was able to load up all of them at once. Definitely a lot of tanks out here, not enough lings to clean this up. If Stephano had have moved his whole army, he might have been able to clean that up, but then again, he wouldn't have had anything to back it up with, so probably a good idea for him to burrow out of there. Get it? I made a pun. Going to try and get those lings all the way through to the main base because the main army was a little bit out of position. Definitely going to be able to clean this up. This is probably a good spot for Stephano, although all of those wings definitely getting taken out there. It looks like a scan may have to be used to clean those wings up that just burrowed over near the wall in. Well, it does look like there might be an engagement coming in over here. Is Polt going to realise that there is a base over here? I wonder if he's seen it at all. Yes, Polt, are you seeing this? Yes, he is. He has totally seen this base. He does have the siege tank in siege mode, so he is going to be able to shoot this from afar. There is a huge engagement going on here. Zerglings coming in from all sides. This is what Zerg is definitely good at, although that didn't quite work so well for Stephano as he did only have Zerglings. But that's right, maybe he's learning from his mistakes. There are now ultras on the field. This is good news for Stephano. But even better news for Polt because it looks like he's got he's got his army just lying in wait, trying to whittle down the Zerg, which sometimes that's exactly what you need to do to Zerg. You need to let them spend all their minerals that they're getting, because you got to remember, Zerg is definitely going to have more minerals than you. If we have a look at the mineral supply, the Zerg is definitely ahead here. Let's just get rid of that right now so that we can see this engagement. Big engagement going down here, although those ultimates are going to get taken out quite easily. It looks like a couple of siege tanks getting taken out as well by Stephano. So Polt holding on quite well right here. I feel like Stephano should have gone for the counterattack over at this base, although I don't think he knows about it. No, he does not. So not good for Stephano at all, not knowing that that base is out, which means he does need to get his 5th base out, which he is doing. He's got a 5th base over in the center, although the engagement over here is still going on. The Stephano seemingly having an infinite amount of units here, but Polt making great use of what he has. Let's have a look at the resources lost, definitely favouring Polt right about now. So this game may definitely go into Polt's favour. I seriously hope it does, which means that we can go on and have an extra game in this series, because let's face it, 3 games out of 5 is a little bit boring. So I wonder what Stephano is going to do to counteract this, because Polt is actually getting a good contain going on, keeping the Zerg on the back foot, which is something that you don't often see. You often see the Zerg player putting the Post current players on the back foot. Burrowed Roaches over here though, trying to throw out some infested Terrans, not quite working. Infested Terrans getting taken out almost before they can hatch. And it looks like those drones will get told to get the hell out of there. This is not your base anymore. Although there is a counterattack coming along here for the Zerg. It looks like Stephano realizing that there is a command center floating around, going to try and see where that lands. It is going to land over here. Although Stephano now realizing what the hell's going on, turning his army around and trying to engage. Although it looks like that may not have been the best thing for him, as 4 of his siege tanks do get taken out with not much loss for the Zerg player. Definitely not good for Polt there, although he probably is still in the lead. These Marines getting bungled, so those medevacs need to get the hell over there and heal them up before the Zerglings can catch up with them, because they are quite low on health, although these 2 tanks are saying, no, you leave my Marines alone. So looks like that's the answer to a biomech ball, although are we going to have a drop? Let's keep an eye on those 2 medevacs over there. These destructible rocks getting taken out, opening up a new path for attack, but Polt realizing that is on the table. These 2 medevacs are going to do a drop at this expansion, it looks like. No, where are they going? Yes, that's exactly where they're going to go. Stephano realizing that something is up and saying, hells no. So it looks like Polt may go into the main base. Is he going to do another counterattack with these units? I feel like the best thing for him to do right about now is to go down to this base and do a counterattack with this base while he does a drop in the main base. There's the drop in the main base. Units not getting there in time for Stephano, taking out an extractor, but that's probably not going to be enough. This drop being denied, although this base here is going to go down. Not a good spot for Stephano to be in. It looks like Polt may actually take this one. Oh, that was just them trying to take out those destructible rocks, leaving them, however, just before they do go down. And a planetary fortress being done over here for Stephano. That's going to buy him a little bit of time to get his army over into position, but Stephano realizing that he can't take a direct on engagement with that army right about now, although he's still producing the same units. He's still producing Ultralists, he's still producing Infestors, so I'm not quite sure what he's going to achieve out of all of that. Two Infested Terrans going down just to see what the hell's going on, realizing he's not going to do too much over that way. This Marine is definitely going to get taken out. I feel like Polt needs to just go for it right about now, and here he goes, throwing down the scan, seeing where the Zerg army is, and those fungals are not really hitting very much, which is not good for Stephano at all. He needs to make those fungals really hit. Polt getting a great spread on all of these units. These Infested Terrans, though, however, are going to wreck his world. A couple of tanks getting taken out here. Another tank going down. More reinforcements for the Zerg coming through, although there is a whole bunch of reinforcements coming in here for Polt. This is such an action-packed game, totally back and forth game. I really like this. This is great. Great StarCraft action happening right about now. Scan going down, seeing what reinforcements the Zerg has brought to the table, realizing that it's just a whole bunch of infestors and that they are squishy units going to be able to get taken out quite quickly. No fungals going down though, so that means that this army will survive. The infested Terrans will get taken out quite quickly because of this siege tank on the high ground. But I feel like Stephano really needs to throw a couple of infested Terrans right here at this tank, so that this tank will get rid of it for him. This base is definitely going to go down right about now, especially with these reinforcements coming in. No other engagements happening on the field. I feel like Polt really needs to do a couple of two-pronged attacks here. He is taking his own expansion up in the top left and in the top right now as well, realizing that he is in fact in front. Let's just have a quick look. Yes, he is in front. He's about 11,000 minerals in front. That is definitely not a good spot for Stephano to be in. Absolutely fantastic if you're Polt right about now. More reinforcements coming in for Stephano. I feel like he really needs to change up his unit composition here, but he's just going for it. Looks like there are going to be a couple of fungals going down. He really needs to take out these medevacs if he's going to be able to do any real damage at all. These medevacs surviving though, this is not good for Stephano. These Marines over here getting fungled, although, and Polt throwing down the mana scans, trying to get rid of all of these creep tumors to try and stop the Zerg mobility, which is exactly what you should be doing in this situation. Polt playing an almost flawless game. And I say almost flawless, but he is absolutely going for it right about now. And Stephano throwing out the congrats instead of a GG, but he is known to do that. He's got this idea that if you're good enough to beat him, then you deserve to be congratulated. So there we are, Stephano getting out of that game before things get really ugly. Let's face it, it was ugly for Stephano, absolutely beautiful for Polt, ugly for Stephano, and realizing that before it gets any worse, I better GTFO. So that is game number 2 between TS Polt and Stephano. So currently we're 1-1 for Stephano and Polt. And yeah, so thanks for watching guys, and come back for game number 3.